Good morning, everyone. This is Srikanth Rajan, and welcome back to the Stock Market Podcast from MPIinvest.com. A brand new week starts again, and of course, the volatility is expected to continue this week also. Of course, the reasons continue to be the same, that is Adani Group. But then let us quickly discuss what happened last week. So coming to last week, of course, we could see the Adani Group stocks kind of settling down after the fall, and the fear factor is kind of reduced, I would say, though not gone completely, but of course the fear factor has reduced a lot. So things have started getting stabilized, and that is a good sign. But then fear, due to that small fear left in the market, we can see huge green and red candles, which is actually creating a lot of volatility in the market. So with all this volatility, definitely it's a little difficult for a trader to trade. But of course, we are taking some safe trades, and we could make almost more than 1% return last week. So that was something good. Now, coming to the next part of last week, the important data that we can look at is the results from Mahindra. So after the markets closed, Mahindra results came in, and we could see Mahindra results were good. They were good, I would say, but then it did not meet the investor expectation. So there are chances that we could see some profit booking in Mahindra. But then, as usual, I would, like we have been discussing earlier also, the first day after results can never be predicted. It could go up or go down in spite of a good result or a bad result. So that's something that could be watched out. But then, yes, if you're holding Mahindra, I would say, of course, a partial profit booking is good to go. So that's something we can talk about Mahindra. Now, coming forward to the next part today and this week. This week we have the important result to be watching is Adani Enterprises results coming up soon. And if you see the Adani Port results were not good, and if Adani Enterprises results also are not good by any chance, then there are chances of some more fear in the market. So that's something that could actually continue to make market volatile. But one important thing that we need to notice is, in spite of all this volatility, the VIX has actually been going down and down. So that is kind of reducing the premiums on the options as well. And not very interesting premiums we seen, which actually tends a trader to go closer to the spot price. And when we go closer to the spot price, there are chances of a big expansion of VIX when the market fear rises up. And that is when we could see the premiums going up, and that could put an option seller into a loss. So generally, this is something that happens, and generally option sellers get stuck in such situations. So these are, I'm kind of forgot diverted slightly into the option selling part and trading part. Let me come back to the day. So now, of course, let us see how Adani Enterprises fares in the result. That's something to be looked at. Then the most important thing that I would say is, of course, the inflation data. The inflation data is due for when it will be coming up soon. But of course, India inflation data is also coming, but then it won't be a great event, is what I feel, because things are kind of settled in India. The inflation was going up majorly because of fuel prices, which is under, of course, it has been under control. In last 2 days, it has slightly gone up naturally, because you must be aware, Russia has announced that they are actually going on some production cut in March, and March is a time when the Chinese market is expected to open up completely. And when that happens, if there is a shortage, there are chances that the prices can go up. So there is a feeling of demand going up in the market, and naturally the prices can go up for the fuel, and that in turn can increase the inflation. So however, as of now, there's nothing of such sort. So Indian inflation data should be good, is what I feel. So if that comes good, of course, that could inspire RBI to kind of not rise the interest rates anymore. That could be a good sign. So that's something that we look forward to. But however, it would be a non-event, is what I feel. But what was more important is the US inflation data, which is coming up tomorrow evening. So tomorrow evening, Indian time, midnight or something, it would come out. And then we need to see how it reacts, because as we have already discussed, US inflation data is very important, because the Federal Reserve has actually come out and said that they are watching the data, and they will take decisions on the further rate hike only based on the data that is coming in. And if inflation comes higher than expected, then we could see the markets actually falling. But along with that, if you look at one more important thing, the 10-year treasury bonds at US have actually started rising of late. Now, there's no reason why it is rising. I mean, is there something that's actually cooking up behind in the US? That's something that we need to watch. Because generally, when does the bond prices rise? It is when there is an expectation of the market, stock market, the equity market going down. So if the bond prices are rising, if there is a sudden demand in buying bonds or trading of bonds, that could mean that something is cooking up. Though there is economically, there is no news that has come in any media, but this can actually be a negative for tech stocks. So that's something that needs to be watched. So we could see the US market actually falling on Friday, and naturally, we could expect the IT sector kind of to take some hit today. So that's something to be watched today. So do watch out on these stocks. Like I told you, first one is of course Mahindra as the results have come. Two is Infosys and TCS because of this rise of treasury bond yield in the US. So that's something to be looked at. Apart from that, for the day, I would say, of course, tomorrow's event is what is important. That is the inflation data from US. And apart from that, looking at the market, I would say right now the market has got a trading range. So if you look at the previous week, it was close to 17,400 to 18,000 level, and after that, by end of the week, it had come to about 17,700 to 18,000 level. So I am expecting the market to kind of stay range bound for now until a news can help to either go up or go down. But then, of course, it has been a long consolidation period. There are chances of a big move, and that big move can be anywhere towards upside or downside. But more chances that it should go upside because Indian market has not actually caught up with the rally that has actually happened in the European market and the US market in this entire year. So that means Indian market has a lot to catch up, and we just need some news that can trigger the market to go up. So the day the 18,000 is broken, probably we could start seeing some uptrend. But until then, we would see the market kind of consolidating between 17,700 and 18,000. On the lower side, 17,700 is the important support. If that is broken, I would say the only major support would be 17,400. So this is level I'll be watching on the downside, and on the higher side, 18,000 is the important level. So let us see how the market moves. And meanwhile, the important news which we said in the title, the Adani, what's happening with Adani. So Adani has actually pledged more shares with SBI. Now, when does this happen? So see, imagine I have pledged my shares with the bank, and the value of those shares goes down. What happens? I have taken some margin from the bank after pledging my shares, and the share value has gone down. That means my margin goes down. But I have utilized this margin for something else. Then what happens? There's a margin call. So margin call means I will utilize excess margin. So that means, or when the stock value has gone down, my value of pledge has actually gone down. So that means I will have to add more fund or pledge more stocks. So that is a margin call. Now, Adani officially has at least not received any margin call, is what I understand. But then they've gone ahead and pledged it in advance. Is that so? Just expecting something bad, or just as a precaution? That's something that we need to be looking at. So what is the reason it is pledged? It is really not clear. It's not mentioned anywhere. So that's something that needs to be watched. But will this put some pressure on SBI is something that we need to watch again. So again, another two stocks to be added to the list for today would be Adani Enterprises as well as SBI, how it reacts. However, like I said, SBI has not got such a big exposure that could damage the company as such. So any dip in SBI shares could be an opportunity for me to buy. But please remember, I am not a SEBI registered analyst, but then what I'm sharing, all this is just for knowledge. This is what I will do. That is, if I see SBI falling, probably I will look at investing into a SIP mode into SBI, for a long-term investment. So that is the plan for the day. So will Adani stocks actually create fear in SBI? Will Adani fall further is the big question. However, like I've said earlier also, the major part of fall has already been discounted in the market. So I don't see a reason why Adani stocks have to fall much bigger again. So there could be a fall, there could be a small fall, but then along with that, there could be some recovery as well. But at least it's not going to affect the Nifty much unless a bad news comes, unless another bad news comes from Adani Group. So that's something that we need to watch. So that's it for now. Like I told you, the week is looking like it is going to expire between 17,700 to 18,000. We'll go narrower as the days go by. So let us have a great week ahead. This is Srikanth Rajan wishing you a great week ahead and have a great day. But before we leave, do remember to press the like button if you love the content that we share, and do share the podcast with your friends and relatives to help them learn and invest together with us. And if you're not a part of our investing community, all you need to do is go to this description of the video, or even just send a WhatsApp message to the number on the scroll here, and our team will help you join the community. So start investing, grow financially together. Goodbye.